Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sip and Read. This is actually a virtual book club, and the book that we are actually reading over the next couple of weeks is called Girlboss, and we are discussing chapter 2, How I Became a Girl Boss by Sophia Amoruso. This is the book right here. This is the book. If you ever need to catch up on any of the episodes, make sure you go ahead and visit my YouTube channel, which is Martinique the Storyteller. You can catch up on all of the episodes. You can even watch the previous feature book that we discussed, which was Choosing God's Best. Again, if this is your first time watching the show, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited that you have decided to watch the show today, because you could be watching anything, but you have decided to learn more about how to be a girl boss. One thing that I want to tell you all is you do not have to be a female to watch this show, specifically with this book. I know that because it is called hashtag Girl Boss, then a lot of guys may be thinking, oh, this is not the book for me. But this book actually just talks more about how Sophia Amoruso, the author, started her company. So regardless of if you're a male or female, this is the book for you that's really going to help you really to just step your game up as an entrepreneur, just give you that motivation and that encouragement, and also just really help you think of different ways to maybe help your company out. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. If we're not friends already on Facebook, make sure that you send me a friend request so you can always be notified when I post new shows. If you're an author and you really would like to, if you're an author and you would like your book to be featured, make sure that you go ahead and let me know so that I can send you more information on being featured. Hello, Doug. How you doing? So, Doug, you're a business owner, and I would love for you to go ahead and post your website or your Facebook page if you want people to just get to know your company a little bit better, as well as you. And I really do enjoy when other business owners are on the show so that I can give them shout outs, because we're supposed to be doing this all together. This is all so we can grow and really just, gain more clients. So Doug, go ahead and type that in the comment field, and then I'll post that on the show so more individuals will know how to stay in contact with you. Also, if you really enjoy the shows that I produce, make sure you go ahead and visit my Cash App. It is $martinyb. Any amount helps. I also have a GoFundMe page as well, and the link is in the description box. All of my information is in the description box. So I want to tell y'all something. I want to try something different on the show, and you let me know. I just want to try something different. So on the show, I want people that have questions, I want them to call in. So I'm not going to type on here the telephone number, just because I have my little header up here to Sip and Read, my banner, but the telephone number is 202-288-4467. Go ahead and call in, and I want to see if viewers can actually hear you from my speakers. I just want to try something out because I do produce a lot of shows, and that is one way I would like to be able to interact more with the viewers. Instead of them typing all of their questions, then they go ahead and call their questions in. I think that would be so cool if it works. If it doesn't work, then they can't say that I didn't try. But if you're still watching, go ahead and call. The number again is 202-288-4467. If you have a question, if you have a comment, just type to comment. But if you have a question, I want to try something out on the show. So we're discussing chapter 2. Chapter 2 talks about how I became a girl boss. So Sophia Amoruso is going to talk to us about how she actually started her company and became a girl boss. This chapter was really good. If you're interested in purchasing her book, the link is in the description box. So Sophia actually talks to us about how she started her online vintage store called Nasty Gal Vintage. During the time when MySpace was popular, she kept getting these requests from vintage companies because she was within that age range that other vintage companies were actually trying to reach out to. Thank you, Doug. Okay, so here is Doug's information, and it is called Grander Magazine. That is so okay. So y'all, he's in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Liquid Magazine, and that's the website. I have a photography website, but I am redesigning it, and I will list it at a later date. Okay, so this is more information about Doug. Go ahead and visit his websites so that you will learn more about him and his products and services. So I'm gonna leave that up there for a minute. Hey, Joshua Green, thank you so much for tuning into the show. You guys that's watching, if you could go ahead and share this video now so that other people can learn more about this book. So like I said, Sophia was actually within that age range that other vintage companies, because this is before she started her company. So vintage companies were actually reaching out to her, just trying to have her visit their website and things like that. And so she kept getting these requests from vintage companies that was, like I said, targeting her age group. So she thought to herself, I can do this. I can get people to purchase things from me just as they're doing. And Sophia was already into vintage clothing. So it wasn't a matter of her just, saying, okay, I can do this because they're doing this. She actually had a passion for this already, except she wasn't selling these things. She was just going to thrift stores and just buying the clothes for herself. And like I said, her and her friends was already doing this, buying vintage clothes. And she's in California. So with this new interest, she began reading a book called Starting an eBay Business for Dummies, and would go to thrift stores and stock up. Another place that she would go is to estate sales. So I thought that was a really good tidbit. It wasn't that she just purchased a book. She read the book. She taught herself how to run this online business. And I feel that is something that we have to do a lot of time. Everything is not going to be found on YouTube. Sometimes we do have to go to the library, get these books to learn more about how to run a successful company. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with YouTube, because I love YouTube. That's how I learned how to do a lot of stuff. But a lot of details people don't go over in YouTube. So sometimes you do have to, just purchase that book or go to the library and get those specific books on possibly your particular industry, or just how to become an entrepreneur and things like that. Another thing that I want to let you all know, if you do have a small, if you are interested in starting a small business, make sure that you visit an organization called SCORE, SCORE.org. And that is a really good website, and you can find resources and you can get a free mentor. These mentors are actually retired professionals that mentor other individuals in how to start their own small business. So, and it's nationwide. It's not just in Florida where I'm at. So, like I said, she was actually going to estate sales. And another great thing about that was she would go to estate sales of the older people that she thought were older, because remember, she's looking for vintage clothing. So she was going to these estate sales and not purchasing houses or the land, but she was just gathering up all the clothes that these deceased elderly people were leaving behind. And so she was going on Craigslist to find out about these estate sales. And I don't know, I'm just saying, I never would have thought to do something. Like if I was in her shoes, I would never think to go to an estate sale. And so we really have to be creative in how we grow our business, how we get supplies for our business, and I'm just like I said, I'm just on chapter 2, but this is so good. It really just challenges you to think outside the box. So she was actually going to these estate sales around 6 a.m. in the morning, and just like I said, stocked up on their clothes. And I really, I just think that's amazing. So then she was selling online. She was selling on eBay. And two of the major buys that she mentioned that she purchased 2 Chanel jackets for $8. Guess how much she sold these Chanel jackets for on eBay? She started the bid at $10. If you don't know how eBay works, you can actually post items and then people, you auction them off. So people place their bids on the items and then you can close the bid so that you can get the most from that particular purchase. So she actually sold the jackets for over $1,500. And I'm just like, that is so good. That section there was so motivating. I'm like, well, maybe I should start getting into selling vintage clothing, but I'm just like, I just loved how she didn't allow anything to stop her. She didn't allow sleep to stop her, because 6 a.m. is very early for some people. So she didn't allow that to stop her. She didn't allow anything to stop her, and she was creative in it. And I really like that about her. So she actually did everything for her company in the beginning. She was the photographer. She was the model sometimes. She asked friends to model for her. And she built her clientele by targeting girls on MySpace and sending them friend requests directly and invited them to come to her eBay store. And so that is just, we have to utilize everything that's around us in order to build up our clientele. One of the things that I know that I need to start focusing on more is LinkedIn. I haven't really plugged into that social media realm yet, and I know I need to. So about 2 months ago, my newest social media that I was trying to get more clients from and let them know more about my company is Instagram. So now I had to move on to the next social media, still work with my Instagram. I'm already doing Facebook, still work with my Instagram, build that up. Now I need to move on to the next one, which is LinkedIn. So that's why I'm saying you really had to utilize what's around you, what you already have, and really just tap into those potential clients, because she used MySpace and MySpace is no longer available, but she used what she had and just tapped in to those potential clients to target them and bring them to her eBay stores. Talk to me about how to be a LinkedIn boss. So Regina is actually a marketing guru. So she has a Facebook page called Melanin and Marketing, and you can go ahead and post that, and you can post your website as well, Regina, but post that and then I'll post it on the show. But Regina is a beast. So, really just utilize her Facebook group so you can learn more about, because I know she was saying like talk to her, but I want to share this knowledge with y'all so you all can talk to Regina about how to be a LinkedIn boss, because I'm not a boss. I probably have about 100 connections on LinkedIn, and I know I can tap into a lot more. So yeah, use what you have right now, which is Facebook, which is Pinterest. They said Pinterest is really good to utilize for your business. We have Instagram and we have LinkedIn. So this is Regina's Facebook page. So one thing that Sophia said that really spoke to me was, what made me successful, and this is Sophia talking. So she said, what made me successful wasn't necessarily what I sold, but how I sold it. The photography wasn't even that professional, but she was still in a league ahead of the competition because she didn't obsess about what others were selling. She didn't obsess about what others were selling, but she focused on making her eBay store as unique as possible. And that is so good. Okay, so here is Regina's here is Regina's website. Do you want to know why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because sometimes when I start my shows, like nobody is watching. But if you guys continue to watch the shows, I can see when people like come on to watch the shows, I can see how many viewers, and you can honestly tell like when I get excited about people watching the show, because I get a little bit louder and everything. But that's how it is when you have these Facebook shows, as well as when you're just going live, that can be on YouTube. You are encouraged when people are tuning into your show and staying to watch the show. So Regina, I have a message for you. Okay, so Regina, you saw that? Hey, so this is, hey Latoya, thank you for tuning into the show. So Latoya said, Regina, you have never shared this info in the business group. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to put all y'all business up there, but you can read along if you want to. So my question for entrepreneurs that's watching, what makes your business stand out from your competition? And that's one thing that I really liked that Sophia said. She not focusing on all this other stuff. She has tunnel vision. She is focused on her business. She is focused on making her business unique, and people were coming to her, and that's what I really like. She was going to the people as well as people were coming to her, and that's what I liked. Sophia is teaching us, you don't have to have all these glitz and glam, but what makes you unique, when you're starting off, what makes you unique? And so, do you offer exceptional customer service? What makes your business unique that really draws people in? So I'm going to tell you guys a short little thing about my sister. So we actually have a grocery store here called Publix here in Florida. And with that, I don't shop at Publix, because I feel like Publix is too high. My sister, she will shop at some Publix. And I asked her, I said, well, why do you shop there? They are so expensive. She said, because they offer great customer service. I'm like, really? So you don't mind paying extra for that? And that's the thing. Let's say that you sell something that is higher than what the market sells. What makes you stand out? Why should people pay a little extra, for you? And people don't mind paying extra, but they have to feel like, is your product of good quality? Do you offer, some exceptional service, to to your potential clients? What makes you stand out? And so that's what Sophia also mentioned. She mentioned that her customers didn't mind paying more money because her company was so unique. So now, specifically for me, what makes my company unique is there's not a lot of platforms that's created specifically for authors to promote their book, to help individuals get to know them a lot better and have a better understanding of why they wrote their book, as well as what their book is about. And then that's my authors to know and their books to read show. So now if you're an author and you're watching the show, I would love to have you on my show. Just send me a message on YouTube, or send me a message on Facebook, and let me know that you're interested. Just mention authors to know and their books to read, and then we can start that discussion. I also have another show that's called Business Spotlight, and so that show specifically is for business owners and entrepreneurs, so that you can promote your product and service on the show, and people can get to know you better, as well as the product and service that you offer. So if you are a business owner, you are free to come on my show, and we can discuss, we could actually, have an offline conversation about how you can be on the show. But just let me know if you're interested. So Sophia's eBay business was doing really well after 2 years. And when she was actually planning on transitioning from eBay to her own website, eBay actually closed her account, and they shut down her account because she was putting her URL in the description box, and that was a no-no. And this is back in 2008 when she was about to, do her whole transition. But they closed down her account because, she already knew she was about to start her website. And so she was, just directing people to the website. And I think that's great that she didn't allow the shutdown of her account on eBay to stop her from still just moving forward with her website. Even though she was already creating it, that could have, for some people, that could have just been discouraging. And like, okay, well, specifically June 1st of 2008, everything sold out on the first day. Isn't that so good? And I'm just like, that is awesome. So like I said, everything sold out for her on the first day. And one thing that she said that is just really noteworthy is, although she couldn't take any of her eBay customers' account information, she had 60,000 friends on MySpace. And she really targeted them still, even though she didn't have these email addresses of her previous eBay clients or eBay customers. And so my question to you all is, how do you actually build your Facebook friends list, or your Facebook group list, or your email list? What do you do to grow that list? And then also, I want to just challenge you to focus a lot more on building that list. I know that I was listening to a YouTube. So Regina was saying that she actually, if you make your Facebook public, and that is really good. And one of the things that I thought was really good that Regina did was she actually created that Melanin in Marketing so that individuals can learn more specifically about different ways to market their company, as well as connect with individuals. Because her show is topical based, it's really good to be able to listen in and ask questions directly. That's why I'm just so proud of Regina, that she has really just stepped out and just went live with her Facebook groups, as well as being there to immediately answer people's questions. And she is over 500 members. And I just think that that's really good because her numbers are still growing. And so, like I said, make sure you go ahead and join her Facebook group if you're interested in really learning how to really just market your company. And so one thing that was challenged to me was I told this one woman, she's an entrepreneur, and I told her that I had 2,200 like 2,100 friends on Facebook. And so she was like, why you don't have more? And I'm like, well, first off, because when Facebook first started, I was just using it for personal reasons. And so that was her challenge to me. Like, you really need to focus on building your Facebook friends list. So now I just accept anybody, to be my friend, because I want them to be notified when I post things. I want them to share my posts with individuals, because we don't know who these people know. And so that's what I focus on. If you don't have nothing like really crazy on your profile, then I don't mind adding you as a friend, but if you do, then I'm sorry, we can't be friends. But you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is actually, my link is in the description box. If you're just now tuning in, we're actually talking about hashtag Girlboss. This is not just for females. Males can watch this show as well, specifically to learn more about how to become a successful entrepreneur. And so we're talking about chapter 2, how I became a girl boss. Make sure you go ahead and share this video now, as well as make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Martinique the Storyteller, and the link is in the description box, as well as follow me on Instagram. If you truly enjoy the shows that I produce, make sure you go ahead and visit that Cash App that's in the description box, as well as you can visit my GoFundMe page that's in the description box. So when MySpace was actually dying out, Sophia migrated to other social medias and pointed out that she always kept communication with her customers. She always kept communication with her customers. She actually listened to them, and she really focused on finding out what their needs were, because she sells vintage clothing. So she was finding out what their needs were and really trying to speak to her clients. And I thought that was really good. So after she had, started her website, she opened up a storefront. And so, with her storefront, the business just kept growing and growing for her. And as the business grew and grew, she actually was growing out of her particular warehouses that she was in. So the first warehouse, and remember, she's in California. So the first warehouse that she was in was 1,000 square feet. The second warehouse she moved into was 1,500 square feet. Now remember, she in California, so you know she has to be making some money in order to afford this type of space for her company. The third warehouse that she mentioned that she moved into actually used to be Pixar's warehouse, and this was 7,500 square feet, because the company was just growing so fast. And so that's why I really feel like this is a good book, because it's not so much she's telling us what we need to do, but to be able to see how somebody does it. I think that that's really helpful for me specifically. I know that that's why I enjoy reading books, so I can just know the details of how somebody did something. And that's what I appreciate, that she does in this book. So when she moved, as she was growing and growing, she actually was hiring a team. So she first hired a team of 13. So she hired a director of operations, she hired a HR manager, and then she hired an e-commerce manager and many other individuals she hired. And she was in the Bay Area. Like I said, not expensive. It's not cheap to live and have a company, in that area. I know, Doug, isn't that crazy? And so Sophia wanted to actually start designing and manufacturing her own products, but she didn't feel that she was in the right location to do it. So she because she was just looking for just more creative talent, and she didn't feel like the Bay Area actually offered that type of talent she was looking for. So she actually moved to the LA area, and she asked her entire team of 13 to move with her, all but one person. So she had 12 employees now. All of the 12 people moved with her to the LA area. She moved her company to the LA area, and they relocated. And she says 3.5 years later, almost all of them are still with her, along with an additional 350 more employees. That is so good. So now, when I do these shows, I don't do a long spiel of what we talked about in the previous chapter. And the reason why I don't do that is because, have you ever watched reality shows and then they take like 20 minutes to tell you what happened in the previous show? And I know one of the shows called Married at First Sight. That is a good show. I just love that show. But that's what Married at First Sight used to do. And I don't know if they still do it, but that's what they used to do. Give you 20 minutes just recapping. I don't recap like that because all of my shows are on YouTube. So if you miss the introduction in chapter 1, that's all one episode, make sure you go ahead and visit my YouTube channel so that you can have a better understanding of what Sophia, life looked like in the beginning. So we're reading Girlboss, but I'm just so excited, to continue this book just because of her growth. Now, one of the things that I'm kind of curious about, and you might can chime in on this, Regina, because, okay, if y'all didn't know, so Melanin Marketing, I'm a part of that group. Regina actually sent me this book because I won one of her contests. So don't be sleeping on this group, Melanin Marketing, y'all, because y'all might get some free stuff. That's what I'm saying, Doug. You got to get this book. So, Doug, if you want to get this book, go ahead and visit the description box because the link is in the description box of where you can purchase the book on Amazon. Another thing, so, as I was just mentioning, one thing that I'm kind of confused about is, so she's told us where her company is right now, and we're on chapter 2. I'm kind of curious, like, what else does she have to tell us? And so one of the other reasons why I decided to start this virtual book club is because I never finished books. So if you look at my bookcase, I love starting the book and I have every intention to finish the book. I just don't finish it. And so I have all of these books with the bookmark like right here in the middle, and then I start another book. So I really want to just challenge myself to finish books, read it front cover to back cover. So that's another reason why I decided to start this Sip and Read book club. But I'm really thankful that you guys have taken time to watch the show. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Martinique Y Brown Facebook page. Like I said, if you need to catch up on your chapters, make sure you go ahead and go to my YouTube channel, Martinique the Storyteller, so that you can catch up on the previous chapters. Also, make sure you share this video now. And I really do appreciate you guys for watching again. And I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye.